Welcome to our June Board of Education meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Paulette O'Frias.
Here.
John Cooper.
Here.
Scott Latham.
Here.
Brian Tobin. In the event of an emergency, visitors may be advised that they may exit this room from the one side door which leads directly into the parking lot. In the event of an emergency, everyone is asked to move away from the building. Do not attempt to leave in your automobiles, as this may cause traffic problems and block incoming emergency vehicles.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda is the first hearing of visitors. At this time, we ask comments and questions be kept to agenda items only. Does anyone care to address the board at this time? Okay. We have some presentations. I will turn it over to Dr. Morrow for this.
So we're going to start with, Eric, are we ready for the video? Okay, so we're going to start with our, there was a project done with the elementary school and the junior, senior high school students called, in Our Town. It's called Our Town. It's a video they put together, a presentation about Southold. So we're going to start off by watching that. It's better that we watch it than me try to explain it because I won't do it justice. So we're going to switch sides and look up this way. Okay.
Salvation Army band played, and the children drank lemonade, and the morning lasted all day.
My name is Skylar. And my name is Abigail. We're in 6th grade. I love Founders Beach because of Beach Day. We used to come here a lot for Beach Day, and I remember going on the slide and trying to get as many people as we could to fit on the slide at the same time.
And I love Founders Beach because it's really nice and it's fun to come here with your friends and play in the water and build sand castles and dig big holes.
Life in a northern town. Set on the stony ground.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Lila. And I'm Fran.
Me and Lila are in 5th grade.
And I'm a senior in high school. This statue behind us is a 9/11 memorial. The bottom part is actually a piece from one of the Twin Towers, and the top part is a statue that was commissioned by the Miller family, also a memorial of 9/11, and it's a really historic part of our town to honor those that we've lost.
Hi, this is Mr. Wisnowski here, and I am a technology teacher here at Southold, but I'm also a third-generation farmer here in Southold. Southold School is so special to me because I think the students that we teach are unbelievable. We're very blessed to be able to give them so many opportunities and to see where their passions really are. For a small school, we offer a ton of enrichment classes that kids can be part of.
Watch the water roll down the drain as we followed him down.
My name is Martin Lynch and I own the Country Corner Cafe. Southold has changed in that it's busier now, year-round. A lot more people out here in the wintertime than what used to be. Southold has a very strong sense of community. A lot of people do a lot of good work for a lot of different causes, and it's always good to know that people are willing to help when you need them.
This area in Southold is called Einstein Square because he used to spend his summers up here
And he used to buy his slippers at Rock.
I'm Bill Mullen. This is my son Brendan Mullen, and we own Mullen Motors. Because I was born and raised here. My family I'm third generation here in Southold, actually fourth generation. So we go back quite a ways in Southold.
Hello everybody, I am Miss Dana Brewy. I am the children's librarian here at the Southold Free Library. My favorite part about Southold, it's very obvious, is the community. I've been here for maybe like 26 years now. I've watched a lot of kids grow up. I love the children here. That's why I've been here for so long, and I love everybody in this community. This school is wonderful, so wonderful to work with. The parents I love to pieces, and the children most of all.
Hi, my name is Francesca Lynch. I'm the Mattatuck Lions Club Strawberry Queen, and I'm also a senior here at Southold High School. My favorite part about being a student here is that we're a really small school and a super tight-knit community, and everyone is really just supportive of everyone.
We have a couple of students and teachers here with us that worked on that. If I could ask the students that worked on it, please stand up, just so we can give you a round of applause. Yep, Ms. Pizzo, can I ask you to come on down and just explain a little bit about the process for how you guys did this with the two student councils?
This actually came from something you sent us. It was fortunately.
You can, if you use the mic this way, otherwise it won't be on camera though.
But basically, you had sent us an email, I don't know if you remember this, it was about a video contest.
Yeah.
But it was a little too late to put it together, to
Yeah.
actually put it in the contest. And I thought it was just a great idea, we have such an awesome community. And I think what was inspiring was to get together with the older kids.
Yes.
We have never done that before, and I'd like to continue that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they're like mentors to them, and so my goal for next year with Brittany is, some of our projects would incorporate different community events that we can really embrace the community a lot more than, what we've done in the past. We've always done food drives and things like that, but I think we're going to reach out in different aspects now. So.
Yeah, and getting the elementary and high school together is really a key part of that, collaborating together was awesome. I learned a lot. It's only my second year here, and I've really learned a lot by doing the video. It was awesome.
And it was great because we had to come up with a whole plan, like where do we want to go, what do we want to focus on, and so we narrowed it down to those places that you saw that were really important for all of us. So it was a great experience. And
It was.
I think you guys liked it, right? Getting together with older kids and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot we did on the cuff, so we apologize to like Miss Dana and stuff. We would tell her.
Yeah.
Yes. I appreciate you guys showing us stuff.
Yes.
Is it on the website?
Did the
We're
sixth
gonna put
graders
it
get
on.
to
We wanted
do,
to show it here first.
Okay.
did the younger kids get to do any of the tech stuff? Or was that all Soho stuff?
Okay, I should have told you that. So anyway, that was part of the plan. We got to go into Soho TV and we learned all about it and we showed them, we actually practiced. And
Yeah.
we did a couple of clips
In the
together.
green room, yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah, so again, that's what I think, empowerment was right there, the mentorship and just them getting to see what they can do when they get older and all that, they're really young right now, so it's impressionable. It's one thing to watch it at Soho TV in the classroom, but until they see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and-
Yeah, it was really cool. It was
like-
great, it was easy to do, like when we were trying to get together and stuff, it really wasn't that difficult to get the kids over there and just spend a little time. So I think we had like 6 different sessions,
That's great.
We actually took a field trip and made
It's reminiscent of what Skip used to do.
Yeah, exactly. From the village perspective, it was really cool seeing the kids in the village. Francesca with a little camera walking around. What are they doing? I had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, Fran did such an amazing job.
Yeah,
Editing
I
and
mean, she's incredible.
Yeah.
It was very well done. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the students as well.
And now I'm going to ask Mr. Flanagan to come up and do our spring sports recognition.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving our student athletes a chance to highlight their athletic performances this year, of which we've had many. Thank you to our Board of Education and Dr. Morrow for always supporting the athletic program and all of our administrators, and not only the athletic department, but all of our student athletes. This year was a very exciting year, especially for the spring. So, in addition, I'd also like to thank the community for raising such pleasant children to work with and supporting our beautiful facilities, which we wouldn't have without you. So thank you, everybody. Without further ado, we have boys tennis. This year, boys tennis, we had 3 tennis players take away all league honors from Section 11. We had Quincy Brigham, Brendan Kilcommons, and Jaden Olson. Quincy was also awarded the Sportsmanship Award, and Noah Benson, Benjamin Jernick, and Daniel Palacios will receive the Southold Leadership Award. So boys tennis players, if you're here tonight, please come on up. Yeah, end of the year, we've had a lot of awards already. It's kind of, everybody's winding down, so I think it's just everybody's a little tired right now, but still, I think it's very important that we honor them and for all their accomplishments they had this year. Boys baseball. Boys baseball, we had Luke Newman seal up an all-league honors from Section 11. This is his junior year. And Alex Lopez earned a Sportsmanship Award. And Jay Tramontana received the All-County Academic Honors Award. So congratulations to all the boys. All right, softball. This year, our softball team had a bunch of great individual honors. We had Brianna McFarland and Lily Corwin earned all division honors, and Lindsay Bednowski earned all league honors, and she actually also took away the League 8 Rookie of the Year, which is a very, very big honor for a 9th grader. In addition, finally, the athlete that every coach wants in Southold on their team for her work ethic and ability to make everybody feel good, the softball sportsmanship goes to Connie Benson. Boys track and field. Before we begin, I'd just like to thank Bobby Doring and his family for always supporting us and being at all these award ceremonies. They make that extra effort every year to do that. So I just want to say, Bobby and Mr. and Mrs. Doring, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So Southold Leadership Award is going to go to Luke Gibbs and Wyatt Carter. If you don't know those 2 boys, they are fabulous boys. Luke literally was at the practice once the championship started. He went to every practice to support the rest of the team, which was very cool, and not every athlete does it. So I really appreciate Luke and Wyatt for all of that. All league honors. We had a bunch of athletes take all league honors for track and field. We had Bobby Doring, come on up, Matthew Molnar, Jack Kaczynski, Matthew McGonigal, and Flip Klipstein all took all league honors. Congratulations. Moving along to girls track and field, and this was a very exciting year for our girls track and field program. We had records and state placements broken this year for Southold, and 2 of the highest state places that we've ever had for Southold, which is really great. We had Olivia Mishkowitz and Cameron Stanton place all state honors this year. Olivia and Cameron both finished with all league, all county, and all state honors. Olivia finished second in the small school state championships in a high jump with the height of 5 foot 4 inches, which was really, really impressive. I was there to see it, so it was very nice for Olivia. And Cameron, who's a Greenport Southold athlete from Greenport, commutes here every day, which is awesome. Cameron finished fourth in the small school state championships in long jump with a distance, I believe, of 17 feet 4 inches, which she was like right there. I think she was 3/4 away of an inch from placing third place at the state, which is quite a big deal. Something the girls had this year that seemed a little different than others was depth. In addition to Olivia and Cameron having great years, we had 6 other girls receive all league honors. Gabriella Bifoco, Katie Garms, Ava Cochio, Brianna Grattan, Catherine Glasser, and Jacqueline Martosho all received all league honors. Gabriella Wong as well will take home the Southold Leadership Award for her commitment to the track program. She's been part of the program for her entire high school career in all 4 years. So congratulations to all of our track and field women athletes. All right, moving along to boys lacrosse. Congratulations to the boys lacrosse team for winning a county championship over Babylon this year. So that was a very big accomplishment for the team. I'm very excited for the future, considering all of our Southold boys lacrosse players are underclassmen. We have 4 sophomores and 1 freshman. Logan Koch, Ryan Lors, Kenny McGonigal, Jacob Steinfeld, and Nathan Steinfeld have all gained really valuable experience this year to prepare for next year's championship. When I was a kid, lacrosse was kind of a big thing, and our school motto was, we don't rebuild, we reload our roster. So with that youth coming up, you can kind of see they're going to be reloading in the future. So congratulations to all of our boys lacrosse players. And another championship to congratulate our girls lacrosse team from Mattituck, Southold, Greenport. Congratulations to all of our Suffolk County champions. Excuse me. This year's Southold team was led by goalie and attackman Aiko Fujita and Megan Tobin. Megan Tobin picked up the all-division honors, and Aiko Fujita was named Unsung Hero for Section 11. Again, a very young team that has a lot of potential for the future. Other vital championship team members include May Domini, Amelia Harmon, Madeline Palumbo, May Riley, who will also receive the Southold Leadership Award for her dedication to athletics in Southold, Olivia Zahill, and, sorry. Another one that we're talking about how our youth is coming up, and we have a lot of young talent, and Allison epitomizes this with her earned Rookie of the Year status for girls lacrosse for Section 11 small schools. So congratulations to Allison, congratulations to Aiko and Megan Tobin, and all of our championship girls this year. So give them a nice round of applause. That concludes the presentation for our athletics this year. Again, thank you so much for your support through the years. I really appreciate it.
That brings us to our consent agenda, which includes the approval of our minutes of our regular meeting of May 24th and the work session of June 7th. It also includes our schedule of bills, our treasurer's report, our monthly budget status report, transfers, the extra classroom activity fund will be available next month. We have some contracted services for the 23-24 school year. And then we have do we have to do the vote on the resolution separate for the destruction of the ballots? Okay. And we're going to act on the retention and destruction of last year's 2022 election ballots. Along with this is also our CSC recommendations. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, I'm going to read these really, really fast. These are our reserve funds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. This just authorizes and directs. It doesn't place the money. We do that in the fall, correct, Mr. Scheid? All right, Capital Reserve Fund. Be it resolved that the Board of Education does hereby authorize and direct that a sum not to exceed $950,000 of unassigned, unappropriated surplus from the 2022-2023 budget be transferred to the Capital Reserve Fund previously established pursuant to 3651 of the education law. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The Retirement Contribution Reserve, ERS/TRS, be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes the additional funding of the Retirement Contribution Reserve Fund, ERS/TRS, originally established in 2007, pursuant to Municipal Law 6-R, in the amount not to exceed $250,000 for the ERS subfund and $250,000 for the TRS subfund, to be funded from the unassigned, unappropriated fund balance remaining from the 2022-2023 budget. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Workers' Compensation Reserve Fund, be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes the additional funding of the Workers' Compensation Reserve Fund, originally established in 2008 pursuant to Municipal Law 6J, in the amount not to exceed $150,000, to be funded from the unassigned, unappropriated fund balance remaining from the 2022-2023 budget. Motion?
So moved.
Second? Was that you, John?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
The Employee Benefit Accrued Liability Reserve, resolved that the Board of Education does hereby authorize and direct that a sum not to exceed $600,000 be transferred from unassigned, unappropriated surplus from the 2022-2023 budget to the Employee Benefit Accrued Liability Reserve Fund previously established pursuant to 6-P of the General Municipal Law. Motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unemployment Insurance Reserve, resolved that the Board of Education does hereby authorize and direct that a sum not to exceed $100,000 be transferred from the unassigned, unappropriated surplus from the 2022-2023 budget to the Unemployment Insurance Reserve previously established pursuant to 6M of the General Municipal Law. Motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Repair Reserve Resolution, be it resolved that the Board of Education does hereby authorize and direct that a sum not to exceed $700,000 of unassigned, unappropriated surplus from the 2022-2023 budget be transferred to the Repair Reserve Fund previously established pursuant to General Municipal Law 6D. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Old business. Do we have any old business? I don't think so. I think we took care of old business last. That brings us to the superintendent's report. Dr. Morrow?
I can't believe it's the end of the year already. But as you walk around school, it's clear that it is. There's a lot of wonderful celebrations and concerts and moving up and end-of-the-year activities that are going on with everybody. It's clear that it's been really a wonderful year, and it's nice to see all of those different things going on. I'm looking forward to recharging over the summer, planning for next year. I hope everybody has a wonderful summer. Our summer enrichment camp will be in place again this year over at the elementary school, and I think we have 80 or 90 people already signed up for it, and our district administrators, our building administrators are in the process of organizing all of that. So, like I said, I hope everybody has a wonderful summer, and if you get the opportunity, please, we still have high school graduation coming up, and I think that's just about it, because we only have about 2 days left. But it really, it's been great seeing, seeing the pre-K kids at their moving up, and the kindergartens at their moving up, and sixth grade, and now high school, and all of the different fun activities that go on between both the school and the community, the different community days we've had, the different concerts that we've had. It's really, it's a nice time of year. It can be an exhausting time of year, but it really is a very nice time of year to see all of those different things. So have a wonderful summer.
Thank you. That brings us to some personnel. We have employees leaving the district, full-time permanent, Renee Suprina, retirement effective June 30th, 2023. Employees entering the district, full-time permanent, Karen Kowalski, teacher aide, effective August 30th, 2023. And then we have a host of employees, and I'm not going to read them all, for summer services, for summer enrichment camp, for guidance days, for EYS special ed and related services, the summer CSPEs and the PCSE positions, our summer support services, and the credit recoveries. Okay, let's act on those, because those are personnel. Is there a motion to accept the personnel recommendations?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And then I need a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for salary adjustments for the management and confidential employees.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I need a motion, please, that the Board of Education authorizes those administrators who supervise the 2023 summer enrichment camp to be paid per day above their contractual salary for each day that they work in such capacity. It's understood that for each of the days of summer enrichment program, there shall be one administrator assigned to this supervisory function each day. Motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Anybody have any new business? Finance Committee report? That's you, Mr. Tobin. Finance, Building Committee?
Nothing to report.
Policy Committee?
We'll be having a meeting over the summer.
Okay. That brings us to our second hearing of visitors. At this time, we will entertain all comments and questions about any kind of school matters. If you care to address the board, please come up to the microphone and just state your name.
Hello. It's Carrie Daly Ruggie. I have two students in the elementary school. I was coming to raise a question about the retirement of 2 music teachers, and my understanding that we're replacing it with 1 hire. And I wanted to understand why and what the savings is being applied towards.
Can I ask where you got that understanding? Because it's completely inaccurate, but I've had that question from a couple of people, so I'm just curious where it's coming from, so that we can hopefully squash it so that people aren't upset about things that aren't accurate.
From teachers.
From which teachers?
From Chris Ruggie and Jen Kennedy, who I believe met with you. At least Jen did.
Chris Ruggie didn't meet with me.
Jen Kennedy met with you.
Yeah, but never did we have a conversation.
She raised concerns to you
She
about
assumed
the
we were
music
doing
program.
something and then shared that with you. So just so that you know, we will not be cutting any of our music programs in Southold. We
But
will
the
look at-
teachers, are you cutting the
If you Let me
teachers?
finish, I'll explain. We will look at all of our staffing as we do when anybody retires. If, to keep our programs, we need to hire a teacher back, then we hire the teacher back. Similar to, we had an elementary teacher retire this year. We have not hired a teacher back because we don't have the enrollment for it. You know, we don't have the number of sections that we did have last year. If we get a few more kids, then we would add that teacher back so that we can keep our programs in the exact format that they're in now. So as of now, we've already started the process of hiring 1 teacher. That person retired a little bit longer ago. As you saw on the agenda today, we just accepted 1 person's retirement, and it came very late. So we haven't fully assessed our needs in that area yet, and we haven't made a decision. The one thing that we are committed to is not eliminating or cutting any of our programs.
That's different. Cutting the programs mean you may be asking other teachers to cover the programs, so that's different than having qualified music teachers to run the programs. Are you hiring 2 music teachers to run the programs, or are you hiring 1 music teacher and asking other teachers to cover the programs?
When you say other teachers, what do you mean?
Who else, how are you going to maintain the status of the Southold music programs?
When you say other teachers, what do you mean? If that's a question, it's not an answer. Like, when you say other teachers, do you mean non-music teachers?
Yes, that's what I mean.
We don't expect non-music teachers to be teaching music.
So how will you maintain the...
I don't know yet, because we haven't finished yet, because the retirement came in really late. You know, if the retirement came in, you know, a typical retirement time, like 3 months ago, I might have an answer for you now. But I don't have one yet, because the retirement just came in, you know, a week and a half ago. We just accepted it today. So I don't have an answer for you, but I can tell you this. We don't, some districts do and some places do, we don't typically have non-certified people teaching different certified areas. So if we're teaching music lessons, then it will be somebody that's qualified to teach music lessons.
And how do you establish who's qualified? What are the credentials?
Qualified in New York State means certified.
Certified to teach music?
Yeah, you got to be certified to teach anything. You know, you can teach a little bit outside your certification. I don't know if music would, like, you don't want me teaching music. You know, it's not, you know, like there's a difference between.
Agreed.
You know, I'm not a certified math teacher, but I was an elementary teacher and a middle school math teacher. I can teach math. You don't want me teaching music. So, you know, my expectation is that whomever teaches music to our kids will be a certified music teacher.
What is the process or the timeline that you make decisions around hiring and resourcing? And how is the public made aware, or the parent community?
I mean, I mean, we would ideally like to do it as quickly as we possibly can. I just had the opportunity over the last 2 weeks to meet with each of our music teachers and learn a little bit about the history. Now we'll look at all of our enrollment and our lesson groups and size and skill sets of everybody and things like that, and then we would move forward. So unfortunately, because of the timing of this retirement, it's not going to happen till over the summer, which is really not ideal, but like some of this is out of our hands. Retirement comes when people choose to put it in.
Yeah.
It was put in after the last board meeting, so this is the first board meeting that we can even accept it.
So I know there's a number of parents who've raised the ask to have Spanish teaching for the lower level grades. With this retirement, are you balancing and considering trade-offs to the music program to offset that, or is that?
Not considering trade-offs because we're not eliminating anything at all. There are no trade-offs. There is no elimination of anything that we have. Will it look exactly the way it did in the past? Maybe, maybe not. Just like elementary school won't look the way it did last year because we're not replacing a teacher. We also have another teacher that used to teach a full schedule of a certain area that's certified in more than one that will be teaching part of another. We went to that this year. So things won't always look the same, but we didn't take anything away. We didn't eliminate anything. The reality is that when you have 700 kids compared to 1,100 kids, you can provide the same exact things differently than you used to be able to. Sometimes you provide more things. Sometimes, like we've had the ability to offer different things that way. Our enrollment in the elementary school has changed dramatically, by almost 200 kids in the last few years. Our enrollment in the high school is starting to change and will change by over 200 kids. Our goal is to keep all of our programs, all of our clubs, all of our teams, all of the things that we have that make up Southold, in a tax-sensitive, reasonable manner. Will we have the number of teachers next year that we had 10 years ago, 12 years ago in Southold? No, because we don't have the number of kids. So I guess that's does that answer your question?
That answers my question. Just one follow-up question. So separate to music, there was a Spanish enrichment after-school program introduced. Do you know how that performed and what if that would be considered for next year?
I don't have the numbers on the enrichment program. It came out late, and it would be unfair to decide whether it's something. We decided that next year we're going to put together a robust enrichment program, K through 6, give people ample opportunity to sign up and be part of it, try to secure teachers for it, because that is sometimes a bit of the challenge. And then based on those numbers and that participation and the success of that program, then we will look to go forward. I think everybody agrees that adding and having everything is wonderful. And everybody wants to add and have everything. What we want to do is make sure we can keep all the good things. When you add, you sometimes then subtract in other areas. That's the reality of it. There's a certain number of hours in a day, a certain number of minutes in a day, a certain amount of time for kids to be in places. So it can't be done as quickly sometimes as people want. And, you certainly don't want to take a good thing like adding, say, a foreign language program that could be a wonderful thing and do it in a bad way. You don't want to look at your music program and make a decision in 3 weeks just because that was the amount of time you were given by somebody in their plans to leave the district. That, to me, would be an imprudent thing that I'm not willing to do. We will look at it all very carefully, and then we will figure out how we can maintain, the great programs we have with an ample number of people. And I certainly don't want to be hiring somebody and then letting them go in 2 years. Or a year.
Would you ever contract, or does it have to be a staff member who teaches music, or would you ever contract a position for a specialist?
We share with other districts. We do different things, and we'd be open to looking. And there's a lot of labor agreements that would be impacted by that, so I wouldn't even be able to give you a question. There are certain things we contract out for in schools. There are other things that I can't contract out for because they're, for lack of a better word, owned by a certain collective bargaining unit. So I don't have an answer to you for that, but the fact is we are open to everything. There are times where we try to hire a certain position and we can't get a hiree that's highly qualified, certified, and we end up contracting out for an aide or for, a different person that has a certain skill set. That's becoming more prevalent in New York State because it's becoming more difficult to get good teachers. The profession, the colleges, the college prep programs say that they're down 40%, with teaching college prep programs compared to when I was in school or even 10 years ago. And that impacts us, so there isn't it's not a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
I can't unilaterally do it because I choose to.
Right.
There are circumstances where we can't staff a position and we contract for them. Ideally, I like having my own people. It's kind of nicer to have people that live here teaching our kids. Like when I say live here, I mean in our buildings every day teaching our kids.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Does anyone else care to address the board?
I'm Devin Traherne. It's okay, put this here. I have a little cough, so I don't want to start in. I have 3 kids in the district, middle school, junior high, into the high school. And first, I just want to echo what Ms. Ruggie said there. You do have teachers in the district concerned about the music program. So I'm glad to hear that it's not going to change. You don't anticipate anything significant shifting in the offerings. Because I was concerned about that. It's such a light in this district for so many kids and community members. It's like the best nights of the year when my mother can come see her grandkids on stage and play with the band and chorus and all. So check mark on that one. Okay, the other thing I wanted to bring to the board and administration was I'm wondering if the board and admin would reconsider the practice of class ranking in the district. This is something I've been thinking about a lot as a parent, as a teacher, and I recently read, just a couple months ago, I read an article called Is Class Rank?
We recently changed it last year.
How so?
Mr. Rush, maybe you could,
Yes.
but I think you may be going in a direction that we're already at, but I'm not sure.
That would be amazing.
Last year, we implemented weighting, which is the practice of adding an additional multiplier to a college level or AP level course. So we implemented that for our juniors and seniors to include a weighted average in addition to their standard average. We will use that weighted average in terms of determining a student's valedictorian and salutatorian because it does signify and indicate that students took a higher level course than your typical Regents level course.
Thank you. Is that what you're referring to, Devin?
It isn't, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's
I'm sorry.
okay. That's okay.
Because that was the thing last year, so I didn't know if maybe you
Sure.
missed that.
Just to ask you as a follow-up, though, is the weighting only for Val-and-Sal, used for Val-and-Sal, or ranking in general?
It's in general, but we also,
Right.
on our transcripts, we do display both the weighted and unweighted average.
Right.
because different colleges ask for both
Sure.
or none, so.
Okay, so my understanding is currently at Southold, classes are ranked. I'm actually unsure if ranking begins at the end of freshman year or sophomore year, because during the COVID time, ranks were not appearing on transcripts. But there is a class rank at the bottom of every student's transcript that's visible to them and updated annually. It's also on the transcripts that are sent to colleges and universities as well. So I read this article in US News and World Report. It was called, Is Class Rank Still Important? And I thought there were some interesting markers in it. They surveyed 1,500 colleges and universities, and 37% as of this year, 2022, December, reported that they consider class rank reporting important in college admissions considerations. So that's a pretty precipitous drop, first of all. And that of the, and that 50%, they also reported from this survey, 50% of US schools currently rank their students. So we're at about half. In addition, if ranks are not reported, colleges and universities, they don't mandate them, they just use other indicators for success. So back to why I'm asking for a reconsideration of this class ranking system. Our school is so small, and the kids are hyper aware. Some, not all, believe me. My son has no idea. My daughter knows exactly. they know exactly what the ranks are, many of them. Some of them are ranked within 100th of a point of each other, literally. In some classes, there are a lot of kids within 1/10 of a point of each other. And they're so aware that it's creating in them, for many of them, this sort of stress-induced anxiety competition thing that I just think is not promoting cooperative learning and engagement. There are kids who purposely enroll in classes they think are maybe an easier A in hopes that they'll give themselves a little bump rather than challenging themselves in something they might actually be more interested in because they're concerned and they want to see that class rank shift if they're just that close. What else do I have here? It's just really, it breeds this stress and anxiety that I think bodes looking into. Some schools I read about are shifting to more of a university collegiate style cum laude system in which I think a valedictorian and salutatorian should absolutely stay. Like those top kids deserve, those two top kids really deserve that honor. But in the cum laude system then, kids would still be recognized for their achievements, but it wouldn't be you're a number 6 and you're 300ths of a point behind that kid, so you're a 7, and you're a 9 because you're a 10th below that kid. Just being in such a small community and having the kids kind of feel this makes me feel for them. And I'm wondering if there's a better way to acknowledge their hard work and their academic achievements and not have a number flashing in their face every time they look at their transcript at the end of the year and have them kind of judging themselves by that for some of them. So that's my long-winded.
Did you send all that to Mr. Rush and me?
Sure, yeah. Do you want the article and the, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And then suggestions, like, what suggestions are there by people out there,
Yeah, there's a few different ones. I like the cum laude system because it kind of groups the kids and still acknowledges high achievers in different categories, but it's not that like hair's slice between children making them fight it out.
Send them to us to look at.
Sure thing.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a way to even, in the interim, not put them on the report cards or such, just keep it in the guidance office? Is there a way to keep it until, the administration has a conversation about it, to not put it on their transcripts or the report cards, just keep it in the guidance office so they don't all know where they are, unless,
It's optional to report it.
So it's just a,
They can decide if they want to report their rank
Exactly.
to their colleges. Here it's not that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying, maybe that we can,
We have the ability to show and hide anything on transcripts that we want. There's also a number of colleges and universities that do ask us for
Right.
that information, so it's something that we can certainly look into. And
Okay.
open to any suggestions. I know Southampton, I believe, does the student cum laude, and magna cum laude system. I believe they're the only on ours, but certainly open to any suggestions that best highlight our students' achievements.
And they don't do Val Sal,
They do not.
which, when we have our countywide Val Sal dinner is, there's pluses and minuses to everything, I guess, in life, so, and you hear them all, when you have those types of things all happen to be going on right now. It's that time of year, so they're interesting conversations, but it'd be nice to look at that stuff.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to address the board?
My name is Kate, and I'm very nervous, but I have a sixth grader who's just moving into seventh and one who's moving into ninth grade, and I was kind of brought here too because I've been hearing like community conversation about not replacing the band and orchestra teachers, and I think when Ms. Ruggie, is that you, was speaking, I felt like the word music teacher was being used broadly, and it just had me wondering like will there be a band teacher, because it feels like we have a music teacher in the elementary school, and I know Mr. Himmelman is like the band teacher in the high school and junior high, but it would seem that we would need a band teacher in the elementary school as well. That the music teacher is doing her job and doing it quite well as far as I'm concerned, but to be able to offer the the lessons that the students get during the day, I feel like, and I just recall too, they used to go during the summer and get one individual lessons, and that just made such a difference for my children in continuing and sort of developing their enjoyment of the instrument, as well as like during the day, you know, just it's nice to be doing the learning in the classroom, but they really enjoyed their time with their lessons and expanding on that. And not all of the students in the school district are going to be the stellar athletes. So to be able to, at the elementary level, sort of introduce the arts to students who are figuring things out for themselves, helped them develop. I mean, I made it 2 weeks when I was in elementary school, and now they've been playing since 4th grade. And I kind of am looking long-term as I'm getting out of the elementary school and thinking, okay, if we have a reduction in band services, because both of my children are in the band, if we have what would seem to be a natural reduction in band services, if it comes to one teacher, like the music teacher hypothetically covering it, or Mr. Himmelman coming over, which I believe, and I'm not quite sure, I believe the orchestra teacher comes over to elementary school, but when I look at the stage, it seems to me that there's, and this is obviously not an academic assessment, but I look at the stage, it seems to me that there's more students in the band than in the orchestra. So when I like look long-term, and I know some of my daughter's friends are like in the jazz ensemble, I just like think, are those things gonna exist in a few years if they're not getting the individual lessons, if they're not having that like regular practice, and then the opportunity for the band, what will, in the high school, it may not present itself in the next year or two because of the strong foundation that has been already put in place. But
So our expectation is that we will.
okay, wonderful.
Same as before, yeah, we plan on that.
All right, I just wanted that clarification because I just heard the word music teacher, so then I was like, oh wait, is that like
I cannot emphasize enough exactly how that will look.
Yeah.
But our expectation is that we will have the same programs that we have now. Music lessons for our kids with a music teacher in different areas, orchestra, band, you know, like the first question I got was, I was told you're not hiring an orchestra teacher. And it was a shame that anybody actually said that, because we posted that position in a week and a half because of the fact that that person retired, you know, right before a board meeting, so we were able to post it very quickly. You know, and I feel bad, like I emailed this person back and said, I feel bad that someone made you feel this bad, because she wrote a full-page email about how bad she felt about something that wasn't even happening. You know, so just so that it's very clear to everybody, we expect to have the lessons in the elementary school. We expect to have what we have now. You know, exactly how that will look once we finish looking at everything and looking at all our numbers and where they're going to be in both places and who can do what, you know, then we'll figure out exactly how we'll do that. And it would be imprudent at the time when 2 people are retiring to not do that, you know.
I just wanted to like reiterate the point that I think that it's important to, like, yes, we can say we're gonna, the lessons and everything will be there, but if the expectation, and maybe this isn't what you're saying, but if the expectation is that, like, you know, one teacher is going to be trying to do this, or, you know, people are gonna be coming over to try to do it, I think it's not unreasonable for the community to think that there will be a suffering in services, because those teachers already have full-time jobs that they appear to be doing quite well. So for them to be like, have to take on additional tasks with the students, of course something will suffer, and it will be the students, so, okay.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else care to address the board?
Hi, my name is Kimberly Kraling. I have a son that is coming up to the high school this coming future year, and I have a second grader. I'm sure you're kind of tired of hearing about it now, but I just want to reiterate how important this music program is to our kids. You know, my daughter's coming up into her years where she's going to decide whether band or chorus or, you know, orchestra. My son is in the band. Mrs. Sabrina was phenomenal with him, you know, really took him under her wing, and I think the kids in the elementary school really need that. They really need that personal, you know, experience with those teachers. But at the same time, I have a son that's going into the junior, senior high school, and I don't want him to lose his love for the band because he's not getting the same amount of time that he's gotten in the past. So I just wanted to reiterate how important the music program is to the families here and to the kids here, and we just want to keep it going. That's it.
To us also.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Anyone else? All righty, well, thank you all for your comments and suggestions. That brings us to our board member commentary. Mr. Mullen, I'm so impressed you're here this evening. Didn't expect you. What a nice surprise. Congratulations on your impending graduation in 2 days. What do you have for us tonight?
I don't really have any updates other than thank you for presenting the video, and yeah, and thank you for making this school as great as it is for my entire high school career.
Thank you for leading the student body this year in such a productive, positive manner.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Who's going to sit in that seat next year?
Skylar Valderrama.
Big shoes to fill. Mr. Latham.
I'd just like to thank everybody that came and spoke. Doesn't matter the topic, we want to hear from everybody. I want to wish the best of luck to the seniors and welcome the kindergartners for your trip through our district. It's a really nice place, as evidenced by our video.
Dr. Crane.
Well, I think it's, what, the 116th graduation? Is that? It just, 17, sometimes it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. I mean, you think of institutions that have come and gone in shorter periods of time, and yet here we are, still graduating students from the Southold Union Free School District from, before our grandparents were born. And how incredible is that? I mean, and we're all part of that history, and that to me is larger than any of us. And so I really look forward to graduation and sending our senior class off. And then welcoming the class of, what are they going to be, 2041 or what? A little frightening there, huh?
It's a lot frightening.
And I hope everybody has a great summer.
Thank you. Mr. Tobin.
I'd just like to congratulate all the sports teams and clubs on their successes this year and robotics. The VE club had a great semester. Best wishes to all our employees who are retiring. Congratulate our graduates. Wish them luck in their future endeavors, and enjoy the summer.
Thank you. I think the video that we saw in the beginning of the meeting speaks about what we talk about so often here is our district is a K through 12 district. Like you guys are talking about the music, it's K through 12. This really showcased how to make it work with the elementary and the high school, and I, for one, am really proud and was so happy to see that, especially since it seemed like it was directed by students, for students. So I'd love to see that kind of thing continue. I love the mentoring of the junior, senior high school kids with the elementary kids, because just because there's a parking lot between us, we're really one district. We're not on another campus, and I think that video really highlighted that, and I thank everybody involved in it. I also want to thank you, Mr. Mullen, for participating this year. Congratulations to all the graduates. I know Mr. Latham and Mr. Tobin have daughters graduating this weekend, 2 days from now. It's a bittersweet time of the year. The end of the year always is. We have several retirements this year, and I want to wish them all the best in their retirement, whatever they choose to do. I want to thank the Van Borgendine family. I try and remember to thank them every year, because although you can't see it behind us because it's empty, there were flowers here last night for the 6th grade moving up. They take them back to the greenhouse. They take really, really good care of them for 3 days, and then they put them in their van and they bring them back again. And if you see any of those Van Borgendines, just give them a shout out. And I'll ask Patty if we could please send a thank you again on behalf of the district, because that's what people in this district do. We're all community driven, and I think I speak for all of us that we all want what's best for our students. And you just need to give us some time on this music thing. We literally just found out. So it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. But it's a balancing act. It's always a balancing act. And we look to our administrators to come to us with their recommendations, and then we act on them. I thank you all for coming. We meet again at our reorg session on July 5th, and then I think we have maybe, I don't know, what we have in August, because we haven't established next year's
We usually meet at the end
of July and then the end of August.
Yeah, we'll have the meeting dates.
But take advantage of the summer program if you can. And the summer music programs did happen, but I think they stopped because of COVID, because a parent asked me recently about them, and Dr. Morrow is looking into that.
I just started looking into them. They were actually...
He was unaware of them because they hadn't been here.
They were never here with me. They stopped before I got here. Yeah. So they were in place, I believe, from what I've been able to track down. The music boosters organized them, and then they got teachers, ours or others, to come in and teach them. So I know we're having some changeover. We have a wonderful music boosters. You can ask my wife because she's gotten poinsettias from them every year, numerous ones.
From the Van Borgendines, as a matter of fact.
So, but I know they have some changes going on there, so hopefully, it's probably too late for us to organize it for this summer, and I just found out about it 2 days ago when I was emailed and asked, do you know anything about it? And I said no. But hopefully we can speak to them because it's a nice program. Every district I've been in has had a fairly robust summer music program. It gives kids an opportunity to continue. That's why it's one of the things we offer in our summer enrichment program, because it's nice to have that mix of sports and music and STEM activities and all, like they all add to the development of a person, so you want to try to offer as many of them. And, we're lucky we have kids that cross the gamuts because we're small. So, when you go to larger places, you're in a sport or you're in music or and you're not in everything. Here you get the chance to be in everything, which is really nice. So we can hopefully work with them to look to see if there's a possibility of adding that back.
Thank you. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Have a great summer, everyone.